What's going on, everybody? I'm back. Took some time off there, went to the cottage, enjoyed some time down by the lake. It was really good. Hope everyone enjoyed their long weekend and got to relax. Flare launched yesterday. We're going to talk about that today, but just to celebrate the launch of Flare, we're doing a giveaway. Me, Amila, and Joining Coin, we're all joined up here. We're all giving out 50 XRP each, so that's a total of 150 XRP. To join, all you got to do are these steps right here. The Twitter will be linked down below. Just make sure you're following the Twitter and join up on the giveaway. Chance to win some XRP. Okay, so we're going right into it. Jed, we've been talking about Jed's wallet. The Jed's wallet's been hot information this last little while, and that's because he is running out. So he's currently at 45 million XRP. That's low, considering this guy was in the billions. Now he's down there. It's almost over. I think he's got maybe, what is it, 2 weeks left of dumping. As long as the XRP ledger stays at this volume, I think he's dumping something like up to $20,000 a day, $10 to $20,000 a day of XRP. So as long as the volume stays the same and he continues to dump at this rate, he's gonna be done in like, yeah, a week or two. And I know everyone's thinking this isn't gonna be, no, we're not just gonna pump as soon as he's done. But every single day, this guy is able to look at the XRP ledger volume and sell a percentage of that based on what that volume is. So let's just say the volume one day is through the roof. He's able to sell like up to $50,000 of XRP for that day, right? So this is a day that there's really good volume. We're pumping. Boom. Jed McCaleb comes in with a giant sell wall because he can. Once we're done and we're out of these goddamn taco stands selling, there's going to be no more of that pressure. Is this the be-all end-all pressure for the XRP ledger? No, it's not. But it is going to be a big chunk of that, whatever the volume percentage is that he's able to sell. I forget what the exact terms are. Whatever that volume percentage is going to be gone. Those sell walls will no longer exist. Those days where we get really great pumpage, that pumpage is going to stay. It's not going to get eaten up with these giant sell walls. And up until now, Jed has been going on there. He's been putting his XRP sales on there, and us on the community has been buying them up every single time, right? Every time we haven't had actual downward movement from Jed's taco stand, like significant downward movement, because everyone here is essentially willing to sweep the floor. Every time he lists these tokens, people are coming out and they're just sweeping the floor. So this is the talk of the town. Everyone is talking about this because it's been a long time, right? He's been dumping for a long time now. Now, I think this article is a little old. Yeah, June 30. This article is a little old, but it's pretty important because it's just reiterating the fact that, the facts are in here. McCaleb left in 2014. He split, started Stellar. We're not going to go into the history of Jed McCaleb, but the point is that he's allowed to offload a certain amount, and at this point in time, he is running out. So that's super awesome for us. We're all really excited to hear that. And yeah, as long as the volume stays at what it's at, he's going to be done. He's going to be done soon. So that's going to be great. We're going to get rid of this. On that note, I want to talk about this. So this was posted 2 years ago. And as you can see, people have been watching the Taco Stand wallet forever. This isn't something that I'm just bringing attention to. The XRP community has been on this for a long time. This was posted 2 years ago. What I thought was interesting in this that he was posting is he's breaking down the reason as to why, what we're looking at, why it's bad that he's selling. But specifically, he's talking about upcoming regulatory clarity. And his guy's posting this two years ago, right? He's also talking about there's always Spark. And I thought that was interesting, right? 2 years ago, here's this person. We were all hoping, waiting for Spark. We're waiting for the lawsuit. We thought all this was going to be out and done by now. But, we thought that was coming the 2-3 years ago. It didn't come. But we're there now. We made it. We're there now. Jed's taco stand is running out. The SEC lawsuit is currently on a year and a half now, and we have regulatory clarity around the corner with all the president's working group, the SEC, and everyone, all these crypto exchanges becoming insolvent. We got regulation coming around the corner. The area that we thought we were in 2 years ago, we're there now. We're there now. And we have the launch of Spark. Spark has launched successfully yesterday. And that leads me into my next point. We're going to go into that right now. Okay, so we thought this was coming a long time ago. It got delayed. They dropped the Songbird. We got a little bit of a airdrop in between then. They did a couple years of testing on Songbird. I think like 2 years of testing on Songbird. That all went great. Flare launched yesterday. So Flare officially went live yesterday, July 4th, without a hitch. And it was quiet. And I like that. I like that a lot, guys. So most of the time, we're waiting for a lot of big noise around an exchange, or not exchange, around a coin release, or like any type of release, right? Even a video game, right? The day one release is huge. This was silent. I think that was great, right? There's that old quote about not making noise, like if you're successful, let your silence speak for you. I think right then and there is what we're seeing with Flare. They launched, it went good, they had no issues, and they're following their plan. They're not going to sit there and make a big stink like, we were successful, everything's going. Nope. They're just going to work. They're just going to do it. They know they have a lot of pressure. They know they've been a lot of buildup. They've delayed. I believe they've done things the correct way with the test net and just taking their time with all this and making sure that when it does come out, we're not sitting here on like a day one World of Warcraft shit show where no one can get online. They had the launch plans laid out, and they're going to follow the launch plans. So most importantly, we got better and safer decentralized bridges. We've been seeing a lot of hacks with bridges on these other chains, right? They set up a bridge with a liquidity pool, trying to get like cross-chain or trying to enter DeFi or whatever they're trying to do, and there's a flaw in that bridge, and somebody just drains that tunnel with all the crypto. We got decentralized cross-chain composability with any chain, so asset information can flow freely. You can move Bitcoin and Ethereum on the XRP ledger now. It'll move very quickly. On that note, if we're going forward, it's launched, but it's launched in observation mode. So it doesn't mean you get your Spark tokens at this time. You're going to get your Spark tokens later on. So you can go to the Flare website and you can go look and read on all the launch details. But as of right now, the network has launched in observation mode. It's going to stay tested, and it's going to become fully decentralized. At Genesis, the Flare Foundation will operate all network validators. So in the very beginning, no, it's not decentralized, but us as the public can access it. It's just essentially saying, hey, the new FTSOs will be able to join Flare and start submitting their FTSO data. I think people that have done a lot of a lot of Songbird developing, they'll be able to start submitting their packages for importing to the LiveNet, and just making sure everything is going nice and smooth and working before they press that, the live button, and they get fully decentralized and they've released this thing to the world. But big news, it's in observation mode. Everything so far is working out great. Observation mode will last for a minimum of 8 weeks. So I'll say that again. A minimum of 8 weeks. So now that we're live, we're chilling in observation mode until we have sufficient validator power surpassed the external validators, such as the Flare Foundation is no longer in control of the network. So once everyone has turned on their validators and Flare has seen, hey, we were running 10, the community is now running 10, that was the required amount of power. We're going to wait a little bit. Now the community is running 12 to 15 of them. Oh, they have more than us. They have more than the minimum amount of power. And now they have more, it's enough to be decentralized. Great. Now we switch it onto their validators. Flare no longer has control of the network, and we are live and decentralized all at the same time. Actually quite beautiful. I think this is going to be really, really huge. We've all been excited for Flare. And again, going back to that other post on Reddit, people have been talking about the time that we are now. 2, 3 years ago, we weren't there then, but we're there now, right? SEC case is going to have to end. Regulations are going to have to come in, and Flare has launched. Doesn't mean we're getting our airdrops, but Flare has launched. All the stuff that we have wanted 2, 3 years ago when we said it's coming in November, it's coming now. It took longer, but you know what? It's worth it. Um, Going forward now, I wanted to talk about, I think it was this thing next. Yeah, again because my battery died. That's awesome. So the Digital Euro Association has tweeted out, next week we're going to be hosting our first of many Digital Euro Association Summerfest, generously sponsored by EU News, Ripple, and I can't say this word, and set up in collaboration with FS Blockchain. We express our thanks to the sponsors who are decisively contributing to the success of our Summerfest. So the Digital Euro Association is having a big Summerfest conference, and look who's sponsoring it. One of their partners, RippleNet, right? That's big, guys. We keep seeing this all the time. Like, we know central bank digital currencies are coming. We know the future is going to be Web3. The more and more we see Ripple with these big groups, the better it is, right? When you see things like the faster payment network or the future of quantum payments and all that good, the future of quantum financial systems and all that good stuff, you're not seeing Vitalik sitting at any of these meetings. I'm sorry, you're not seeing the Ethereum Foundation fund any of these successes. Um, Maybe the Ethereum Foundation is doing things in regards to schooling and education and blockchain, but I'm not seeing it. I'm pretty good in this crypto space. I do my very best to kind of look at everything. I've been in it since 2013. I bought winners and I bought losers. I'm doing my best to look at them all, and I'm not seeing this type of movement come out of Ethereum. I think Ethereum got scammed. We'll talk more about what I truly think happened with ETHgate and all that in another video, or else this one's going to get too long. But just stop and think. Where are your favorite projects? What are they working on, right? Even big ones like Binance, who's got so much going for them, so much money. I don't see Binance sitting on, like, meeting with the president, where you go back and you see like Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz have meetings with like president working groups and are on dockets and are meeting with like central banks and are going to like Davos to talk and stuff like that. Like, if your projects aren't there, that's something to think about. Like, I understand we don't always like these traditional financial institutes. We don't like the Visa and MasterCard guys nickel and diming us. We don't like our banks with all this control and information and what the barriers they set up, accredited investor, over-the-counter trading, off-hour trading, dark pools. We don't necessarily like all these things. That doesn't mean that they're all bad. That doesn't mean that they're all gonna get revamped. Some of them aren't. They're gonna stick around. This is just the way that some things are. We kind of need some of that bad with the good, and these old systems are going to get adopted by this new technology that's going to remove some of those frictions, remove some of those issues, and the corruption with the transparency and all that. But you need to continue to work with them. You can't just shove them off to the side and pretend that they no longer exist and do your own thing and just assume everyone's going to use the new thing. It's not going to work like that. Like the guy from the IMF said, the soul of the money is trust, right? I trust that at the end of the day, my money that I left in my bank will be available to use when I swipe that debit card. I trust that, right? That trust has been grinded in through years. Our parents, our grandparents, we all use our same financial institutes. There's a level of trust that we have built up with them, and also a level of respect as an ongoing customer that they give to you, right? So there's this back and forth with financial institutes. I love seeing Ripple a part of all these meetings, sponsoring all these conferences. And the more I see them do stuff, not only with the things around the central bank digital currencies, but around the schooling and the education piece is something else that I really like to see. So another big piece of news to talk about is the XRP Ledger blockchain to sort land registry for the government of Colombia. Jeremy Hogan was actually tweeting about this, how this is really big, as the way that they do this right now isn't exactly the best, and there's lots of room to improve. The solution, which is based on the XRP stamp and allows the digital assets to be registered on the XRP ledger and their authenticity to be validated with a QR code, has been developed for Colombian National Land Agency, Agencia Tierras, to give Colombians trust. The solution aims to register more than 100,000 judgments in the near future. So when we talk about Internet of Value and we talk about tokenization of assets, people don't really know what that means. This is what that means. So you have, let's just say, $100,000 worth of XRP you want to sell. Somebody else is sitting there with a piece of land valued at $100,000. Traditionally, that guy wants to buy your assets. So he has to go take that land. He's got to find somebody to buy the land. He's got to secure the cash for the land. Then he's got to come give you the cash for the for your digital goods, right? For your tokens, for your $100,000 worth of tokens. In that process, he's losing money to the realtor. He's losing money to the bank. He's losing money exchanging those tokens to, like, exchanging that currency. Let's just say he sold that for Colombian dollars. Now you want US dollars. He's got to eat that exchange because he's the buyer, you're the seller. What if you could just say, hey, I have this property. It's valued at 100,000 US. As you could see, I scan the QR code. Yep, this property is currently valued at 100,000 US. He goes, you give me the 100,000 in cryptocurrency, and I'll give you this token that represents this house for $100,000. As long as I know that that house is valued at $100,000, I've done my research, I looked it up, that property is valued at that. We could do that exchange. We could swap. We could do that exchange of goods. And that's what people talk about when they talk about the Internet of Value or tokenizing assets. It's, I don't have to sell my car to get the 40 grand to buy the thing valued at 40 grand. I can just swap my token of the car to the person, and that works. That's a fair exchange of $40,000 for tokens valued at 40,000 or whatever the amount is, right? I can swap two cars for a house as long as the value is the same and the buyer and the seller agree. So this is huge, right? Eventually what I think is going to start happening, and I think this is going to be beautiful, is we're going to be trading all these assets on a blockchain the same way you trade cars. I'm at cards at, like, the playground. It's going to be, hey, I have two houses in Japan. I'll trade you them for a house in the Philippines. And no one's ever stepped into those houses. You're just moving this value around. And you just have this, like, this market, this global village, as Marshall McLuhan used to say, of just exchange. Anyone could sell anything to anybody. We can all just do these hot swaps. And that's the Internet of Value. That's tokenizing everything. So that's why this is so big. Because it's not just, oh, I'm selling my house. It's the government of Colombia. Really quick because this video is going to get long, but I haven't made a video in a while, so there's lots to cover. The XRP Ledger API server that promises to dramatically improve the scalability of access to the blockchain data has been released. According to Ripple CTO Joel Katz, the newly launched Ledger API server aims to increase API request performance, decrease memory and storage costs, and facilitates horizontal scaling. So David Schwartz tweets out that the XRP Ledger has been scaled. The servers, I believe, have been scaled. The API servers, which significantly increase the access to the XRPL data. It doesn't matter how quickly and cheaply the ledger can reach finality if you can't support massive numbers of queries from wallets and exchanges and explorers. So that's true. It doesn't matter how cheap and everything is if we're doing it one at a time. If we have to transact one transaction at a time, that's too slow. What I think this is similar to is, I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on this one, but what I think this is similar to is how the Cardano has essentially updated to do batch transactions. I don't think this is exactly the same, but I think this is similar, where it's just increasing the scalability and the amount of transactions we could do. That being said, since we're currently talking about the XRP ledger, let's quickly hop on over to the amendments, and as you can see, we'll do a refresh, make sure nothing has changed. As you can see, the NFT is still at 60%. I know this went down and then went back up. It's kind of like been moving around as different people, different validators are voting yes and no. We're still waiting for a lot of validators to switch over, but we do need the NFT patch, which is this one, the fix NFT, to go before the NFTs. So we need this one to go first, the V 1.9.1. This has to go first. Once this one goes, then we could do the NFT update. That has to hold 80% for 2 weeks, and then we're off to the races. That's pretty much all I have to say for today. I'm going to do a TA update later on because we are back in our we went back into our buy zone. So we're going to do a TA update later on just to talk about that. But besides that, hope everyone had a great long weekend. Happy big old America Day for all you Americans out there. I'm Canadian. We were just chilling, enjoying the time off, so that was good. Besides that, I'm back. Hopefully you guys didn't miss me. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.